We hear the word sustainability pretty much everywhere these days. But what does it actually mean? For us, for the planet, for our future? Today, we're going to break it all down, move past the buzzword, and see what it really stands for.
So, what are we really talking about here? It might sound super complex, but at its heart, sustainability is actually a surprisingly simple idea. It's all about balance. Let's start by looking at it on a scale we can all understand: our daily lives.
All right, first up, what is sustainability? Before we start talking about giant global treaties or corporate policies, let's make this personal, because sustainability really begins with small, everyday actions.
It really starts with things this simple: turning off a light when you leave a room, hopping on the bus. These aren't just little chores, they are conscious choices. And when millions and millions of us make them, these simple actions add up. They become the very foundation of a more sustainable world. And this brings us right to the core idea. It's all about balance. A good way to think of it is like a savings account, but for the planet. We can live well now, for sure, but we have to do it wisely, making sure there's plenty left for everyone who comes after us. And it's so important to remember that this isn't just about the trees and the polar bears. It's about people, too. You see, a healthy planet supports healthy communities, and in turn, those communities become the best caretakers of the environment. You really can't have one without the other. Okay, so we've covered the what. Now let's zoom out a bit and tackle the why. Why does this all matter so much? Let's get into the bigger picture, because this whole conversation is incredibly urgent. It all starts with this one fundamental truth: the clean water we drink, the materials in our phones, the energy that powers our lives, none of it is infinite. That fact, all by itself, makes sustainability an absolute necessity, not just some nice idea. And the consequences of ignoring that? Well, they get personal, and they get personal fast. The pollution that comes from our industries and our lifestyles doesn't just go away. It directly impacts the quality of the air we breathe and the water we drink. It's a straight line from the health of the planet to our own personal well-being. And from there, it creates this powerful ripple effect. Extreme weather, food shortages, people having to move from their homes. These aren't just isolated events happening somewhere else. In this connected world of ours, the consequences of a changing climate will eventually touch every single one of us, no exceptions. Ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. This is an ethical choice. It's about our responsibility to our children, our grandchildren, and all the generations we'll never even get to meet. It's about deciding, right now, what kind of world we want to leave behind. So if the problem affects everyone on the globe, then the solution has to involve everyone too. This is a massive global challenge, and there is no way any one country can solve it alone. We are truly all in this together. I mean, think about it. Air pollution doesn't stop for a border check. Ocean currents don't need a passport. Our world is so deeply interconnected that cooperation between countries isn't just a nice political ideal, it's a practical necessity for our survival. So, if this is a challenge we all share, who exactly are the key players? Let's take a closer look and break down the roles that different groups have to play. It really takes a whole system working in sync. Governments can set the big rules and create the right incentives. Companies have enormous power to innovate and change how things are made. Schools are, of course, essential for teaching the next generation of leaders. And our choices as individuals create the cultural demand that pushes everybody else to act. No single piece can solve this puzzle alone. They all have to work together. Now, let's bring this all the way back home, because in the end, it really just comes down to the choices that you and I make. So let's think about this together and tackle some of the tough questions. This is the big one, isn't it? It is so easy to feel like your own actions are just a tiny drop in a huge ocean. But what happens when millions upon millions of people all decide to add their one drop? That's when you get a powerful wave of change. And let's be honest about this one. It's not always easy. It requires us to be more conscious, to put in a little more effort, and yeah, sometimes to change habits we've had for years. The goal isn't to be perfect overnight. It's simply to be aware and to try. This is such a crucial piece of the puzzle. Our individual choices are vital, but companies operate at a massive scale. Their decisions about what materials they use or how much energy they consume can shift entire industries. So should they care? Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Our choices as consumers are one of the most powerful ways to make sure that they do. So we've covered the what, the why, and the who. But the most important part of this whole story, well, it hasn't been written yet. It's the what next. And that question is for you. Maybe instead of asking, what can I do? A better question is, what kind of ancestor do I want to be? Think about that.